Hi, welcome to the Arbor Gate. I'm Beverly Welch here with my dear friend Angela Chandler of the Garden Academy.
Hi, Beverly.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, you know, the cool season is upon us, and we've had such a dreary, wet season. Yesterday, we finally had a bright, sunny day.
It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. So as I was walking through the nursery, I noticed suddenly appearing all the honeybees. I saw monarch butterflies. I saw sulfur butterflies. And I started paying attention, walking real slow, trying to notice where are they going, what's attracting them, and what should we have in the landscape right now?
You know, this is true, Beverly, because we do have a 12-month, all year long growing season. And because all of these little creatures do overwinter with us,
Right.
we need to think about providing winter forage for them. They need two sources of winter forage.
Okay.
They need plants that provide heavy nectar because the nectar is their carbohydrate or energy source. And then we need plants that provide pollen as well because that's their protein source.
Okay. So as I said, I walked through and kind of did some homework for everybody to let them know what they were attracted to. And we have examples of every type of plant that will work for us in the cool season.
Very muchly so. And the nice thing about it is it's such a variety that there's plants that can fit into every garden that will still take care of wildlife.
Sun or shade. So we'll start by mentioning two of our evergreens, or as we mentioned in the landscape video, our garden bones. They get overlooked oftentimes in the summertime because they're just a beautiful green shrub. But as you notice behind you there, you cannot beat.
Isn't that fabulous?
It's amazing. This is Sanqua camellias for a midwinter through late winter, early spring bloom. And here's some examples right here, all colors. You've got the ruffle bloom from the October Magic Ruby. You've got the Yuletide, my personal favorite. You've got the soft pinks, so it will fit into any decor, any landscape.
They do, and camellias have a very long blooming season. We have them blooming from October all the way through winter into early spring. So it's a really good selection for the garden.
And you know, these sasanquas will take a lot of sun. The other thing that we can do right now are the roses.
You know, people forget about the idea of roses for a pollinator plant, but they really do attract them, especially the open flowered, more old-fashioned type of
Right.
roses. Good source for both nectar and pollen.
Well, you know, and all of our roses that we carry are on their own root, and we carry all the earth kind varieties. And people do forget about these as a landscape shrub.
And they have enjoyed this weather. While it's been kind of a little wet and miserable for us, the roses are in their glory right now.
And the fall and the winter blooms are more intense in color, they're larger in size, and their fragrance is remarkable.
Yeah, they really are amazing. And they're very floriferous right now.
Yes, they are. So I'm going to bounce back over here to some of our fall blooming favorites that people really don't realize what a favor they're doing to the insects by planting them. And who can pass up the gorgeous dianthus?
I couldn't pass them
And
up.
smell
Fragrance
that.
plus.
Amazing. We've got any color, any size, the new supras with this lacy edge to them. And you know why they call dianthus pinks, don't you?
No. Oh, because of the edges.
Because
like
of
pinking shears.
Exactly. And you know, it's so really funny to watch. I saw a big bumblebee yesterday trying to squeeze himself into this little
They'll make
snapdragon
it.
blue. They do. Also, we forget about the salvias. A lot of our salvias here bloom almost year round.
They do. The fall blooming salvias really will continue throughout the winter time for us, most winters. And again, even though we think of this as a tubular plant and think about things like hummingbirds, the butterflies love them. And you'll notice in your garden that the bees are actually sometimes sipping from down here at the edge.
I did notice that.
And some of the larger bees will actually chew through the petal to be able to sip nectar.
This is another one that is overlooked often, and the little Salvia sinaloensis. It stays this compact size. You almost want to use this as an edger or a border plant. In the fall, this, as you can see, it's getting ready to bloom. The bloom is an intense indigo blue color, but look how gorgeous this foliage is.
That foliage is gorgeous.
It is a good one, and you can't overlook the phlox. Phlox is such a utilitarian plant in the garden. One of Grandma's plants for sure.
It is, and one of my favorites. I
It
just
is.
love the phlox that we can grow here.
And calendula, that is a cool season annual. So if you'll plant it in the fall, you'll get 2 good bloom seasons off of it, and it's also edible and medicinal.
And you know, one of the things I love about calendula in the winter, it is that sort of pop of sunshine even on a gray day.
A very happy color. Another overlooked category of plants that are good fall bloomers are our succulents and sedums.
You know, some of them are fall and into winter. The sedums do beautiful as fall bloomers, and then many of the aloes bloom very muchly all through winter, and their blooms persist. Once they send up a spike,
They
these
do.
blooms will last for a very, very long time. And one of the lovely things about this family is they come in all different sizes.
They do. People often think of verbena as only a summer blooming perennial, but it is extraordinary through the fall and winter, and I think actually prefers that here.
I think it does. It likes a little rest. It usually has a burst of bloom, and the trailing ones can be used so many different places in the landscape.
And we can't go past the lavender.
No, that one's a fabulous specimen.
And the honeybees were all over
Yes,
these blooms
they do love
yesterday.
it.
So what great fragrance. The Mexican mint marigold, again, another useful plant in our
Right.
landscape.
Kind of a staple plant, I think, for the herb garden and even for the perennial garden.
Absolutely. And planting with our roses is so important, and they love the alyssums. And what a great companion with the roses, because it stays such a compact size.
It does. I like to underplant alyssum around the base of my roses all through wintertime, and it really lasts a very, very long time. And of course, this one, so full and so beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous. And again, the fragrance.
Yep, always fragrance.
And speaking of fragrance, I love this story you told me about these petunias.
I was mentioning to Beverly that when my nose will pick these up anytime I walk through the nursery, and it's a fragrance that just takes me back. My great-grandmother loved them and always had them in their garden, and it just literally brings a smile to my face every time I catch a whiff. There's that scent of a petunia, is the petunia fragrance. There's nothing like
There
it.
is nothing like it. And again, overlooked in the fall planting.
And so beautiful, and you know, available in a lot of colors, and so it is something that you can mix up and really brighten a winter garden.
So what a great way to feed our friends all winter long.
Definitely. And then when we do move into the later winter, we parked ourselves here for a reason, and that's the idea of the hollies. Of course, this holly is in its glory right now,
It is
and
beautiful.
making its Christmas show. But in addition, they are also very late winter bloomers, and all of the hollies from the natives to the cultivated are really, really great forage for the bees.
Well, I'm hoping the sun comes out soon so we can go on another search.
That would be wonderful.